The Oreo, a crispy, chocolatey wafer biscuit cookie sandwich thing with sweet cream filling on the inside. A marvelous treat that stacks perfectly next to a cold glass of milk to dunk into. What we've come to know and love as the Oreo was released in 1912 by Nabisco as the Oreo biscuit. The release of the Oreo biscuit actually spawned a rivalry between another similar cookie released in 1908, unfortunately named Hydrox, for some antique reasoning based on water. Nabisco basically just rebranded it and marketed the filling out of it.
Been eating them this way since we were very little. We'll always be friends with Oreo.
Despite taking over 50 years to settle on an official name, clearly people preferred Oreo over Hydrox because it has been estimated that almost 500 billion Oreo cookies have been sold from 1912 to 2020. Before I started to focus on my health and cut out sugar, I could easily take down a sleeve of these bad boys and hate myself afterwards. Even with moderation, I'd like to cut out as much processed sugar as possible, and that means Oreos are not going to be twisting in my hands anytime soon. Or so I thought. I did my due diligence on this one and scoured the internet for recipes, and the recipe that is almost there. I think it's pretty good. 4 test batches later, and the Keto Oreo cookie I came up with looks like this, and in a side-by-side comparison to the regular Oreo, it stacks up pretty nice. This can work with my diet. Here's the ingredients I used for the recipe. It can be scaled up to make more, but this is what I did for this video and for this test batch. All right, let's get baking. An important part of my preparation for all my recipes is getting all the ingredients ready and measured out. That way when I start mixing everything together, it's all ready and at hand. First step, you want to take the flour and the cocoa, the xanthan gum, the salt, and the baking soda, and whisk those together and make them real nice and combined. This also kind of eliminates the need for sifting. You really don't need it if you do this. Next step, take the butter, put it into a mixer, and it's a slightly softened butter. I just softened it in the microwave, but you can just leave it out on the counter. This just makes it cream up a little bit more. And you're going to want to cream that butter up. Then I add in the egg white, mix it up. You'll get this sort of chunky consistency. The sugar in a little bit at a time. The main reason why I'm doing this is because it's such a small batch. I want to make sure it gets fully incorporated. Probably be easier once you scale it up. Then start adding the cocoa flour mixture. That was the vanilla extract and the rest of the flour. So once you get it to a nice crumbly dough mixture, you're going to want to take and form it into a ball, making sure to scrape all the sides off and collecting all that dough. Roll it into a ball. And get your parchment paper, slap that down. And get ready to roll it out. I use the skewers to guide the rolling pin to create a nice even thickness for the cookie dough. Once I have that rolled out, I start cutting out the cookies. Then I roll up the excess dough. Do it all over again. Cut those out. And I had just a little extra. We'll get to that later. Arrange them on a pan with parchment paper and bake for 10 minutes at 350. There's that little guy. Now to make the cream. So the cream filling's a little trickier than the cookies. Trying to get it the right consistency to the actual Oreo was tough. But this recipe at least makes a good cream that holds up. It doesn't squish when you bite it. You can still take them apart like an Oreo. It's not authentic, but it's pretty close. I used allulose on this recipe, but a different sugar substitute might work better. There's the finished cookies. I'm gonna let those cool. You want to let them cool completely before you start putting the cream on. I put the cream mixture into the fridge to let it cool while I was waiting for the cookies to cool, so everything's cool when I go to make the sandwiches. Apply an even amount of cream on each one, and then I just put the tops on. Do the twist and squish. Boom! There you have it. A plate of delicious sugar-free keto Oreos ready to stack up next to a glass of milk. Dunk away. And the cool thing is you can twist these open and eat them like an Oreo, I found out. So they're really a great replacement and they taste delicious. I'll probably keep experimenting with this recipe for a little bit, but overall I am happy and pleased with the turnout. we'll definitely make these again.